does awareness need thought?
Because without thought you can never know that you're aware. Because there'll be nothing, no function, no cosmic soup in which it can recognize itself. You see? Yeah. So awareness embodies itself and becomes Mike. And then Mike is able to say, oh, who am I? Okay? And in time is able to be aware that he's more than just a thought. I am aware of the thought, therefore I am greater than the thought. You see? But it was the thought that made it possible for you to engage that awareness. You see? So the two are complementary. The two need each other in order to function. And this is the reason why we are embodied. We are embodied spirits. And this is the grace and the love, you know, that we have been bestowed with. You know, to be a human being is one of the greatest blessings and gifts we've been given. There's no greater gift than to know I am. You see? But the reason you know I am is because you have become a unique expression of that I am and able to look at that. You see? And because consciousness can recognize itself, consciousness is able to have that capacity, each unique expression of itself is able to have that looking. It's vast, isn't it, when you go into it? Each one of us is totally unique. And yet we're all one in spirit. We're all one I am. And if you get confused, then think of it as radios. You see? All the radios can tune in to the same station. And they're all coming from one wavelength. And the radio expresses it as if it's inside the radio. But it's not inside the radio. It is a receiver, you see, of those waves. Yeah.
I'm seeing two here, so just one is to not identify with thought, and then who cares, because you're after source. So then you say, this is not my thought, this is just thought itself, and you can trace it back to try to find its origin, which will be I am.
Right.
The other one is to say, I'm a pretty pink radio with 3 aerials and 4 dials. And then I say, this, how did this come to being? And again trace back. So one seems to be identifying with thought and then going, and the other one seems to be no identification.
That's right. In the knowing there's no identification. Yeah. But it has, but the thing is,
to go through the pink radio to get to
that's right. That is correct. Yeah, the moment thought comes into being, thought itself creates. You see? And when it creates, what we have now is a manifestation of millions of years of evolution, that we are the way we are. But it's still thought. It's a DNA, it's a memory that created your body. That everything is, as it appears, has come from that. Right. And it's at this point of evolution, we can really have enough intelligence to begin to look at who we are. We're no longer walking around like maybe just primitive man and totally unconscious. Then we went to a stage of self-consciousness, which brought the ego into being. You see? And then from the ego we suffered. From suffering we wanted a better life, which we never got. You see? But we're always wanting a better life, a better life. From the moment we are born. I want to be better than John. I want to get A's at school. I want to be better at track and field. I want to be better, better, better. But it never gets better. Because better from what? Right. But that drive is source itself pulling you back to itself. Until we say, why do I want to be better? What is it all about? Where am I going? You see? And the moment we start looking, we start actually looking at ourselves, examining, looking, that brings us back to Source. See? It's a return, right? Just like T.S. Eliot wrote, and this is one of my favorites, he said, we shall never cease from exploration. And at the end of all our exploring, we shall arrive at where we started. But know that place for the first time. You see, and that's called awakening. And the awakening is what brings everything that we've ever wanted: inner security, inner peace, understanding. That is the crucial point. And the crucial knowing, the crucial understanding is the difference between thought and awareness. But they're both important. The world that we experience, everything, our sensual, everything is thought. But it is there because of awareness, because of Source. Source created it. It is from Source. It's relative to the Source. When I realize who I am, does my life change?
Not necessarily. Why? No, it doesn't need to. It can,
Yeah,
or it cannot.
that's right. Very good.
It's a trick question.
It's a trick question. Yeah. Nothing changes, and yet everything changes. It's just there's a different viewpoint. You see things differently, but you're the same. Personality does not necessarily change, except you're more at peace and you're happier. You have more joy in your life, but you're still the same. Still the same. Same Enneagram, same zodiac sign, same male and female. Same everything. But you change in the way you look at people. You see? They're part of you now. They're not strangers you're trying to get to know. You just, there you are. They are you with a different viewpoint of life. And the viewpoint might conflict, because the only thing that conflicts, what is it? Beliefs. That's all. If a person is brought up a Muslim, he's a Taliban, and he believes that women should be covered up and everything is a sin, and and blah blah blah. Well, to them this is very real. Christians are brought up in the belief in sin and punishment, and yet Jesus never taught that. Jesus actually said that we are guiltless children of God. You see, but they believe it. So, so the point I'm trying to make, like Muhammad, for example, the founder of Islam, he was non-violent. It was part of the teaching. He was beautiful master. But it gets twisted. Why does it get twisted? Because we cannot tell the difference between awareness and thought. And we confuse the two. People read the Bible as if it's, oh my God, it's real. It has been translated from Aramaic into Greek, and Greek into English, and then there's a Catholic Bible, and then there's a Protestant Bible, and then there's an Anglican Bible.
It was written long after the fact.
Oh, and long after the fact, and was written by scholars, and they gave their own interpretation, their own punctuation, and their own, and yet people carried the Bible as if, oh, the Bible says. What does your heart say? The greatest knowledge is not written. It's here. It's inside, and when we tune in, it's there. It's very, very plain, very clear.